there is a constitutional problem. See, the river water allocation is part of water treaty, the job of water treaty.
Yes, yes.
It will happen only between states.
Correct.
There is no intra-state distribution of water share in a river.
Okay.
In a river. You can resolve a dispute between Karnataka
Riparian states, but not within the state, riparian districts and things
you
like
can't have that. So, do you know that in that case what is happening is, when I say that Telangana 10 districts are deprived of its due share of water in Godavari and Krishna, there is nobody to hear.
Correct.
There is nobody to hear.
That's right. It's only the government who has to play the arbiter.
When Krishna water is being grabbed and Godavari water is being grabbed by other neighboring states, Telangana is hesitating, Andhra Pradesh is not.
Right.
The reason is, they don't suffer. Telangana suffers, they don't suffer. And in a tribunal or in Supreme Court, Andhra Pradesh has to represent the interests of Telangana. So far it is not that.
Right.
They represent the interests of Andhra, not the interests of Telangana. So who is there to protect Telangana? That is my question. Unless a separate state is formed. In fact, Justice Krishna asked me this question. Why do you want a separate state? I said, because of this reason. Then he was totally convinced, but he didn't write it in his report. But he said, Professor, what you say is correct. Because there is no possibility of representation, and I can show you that government deliberately appointed an inefficient council so that the issue is not properly represented and the case goes in the way of opposite party.
Correct.
That is it. Treachery.
Correct.
So that is the problem, unless there is a possible constitutional representation. And again, another problem I would like to tell you. There is a presidential order under Article 371D, which came into existence because of 1969 agitation. That is to safeguard the interests of locals in their employment chances.
Okay.
Then that was challenged in local high court. High court upheld it. Then it was taken to Supreme Court. Unfortunately, Supreme Court did not accept it. But the problem is, again, improper representation of state. No, I think
of that region.
Let me repeat this last sentence.
Yes, no problem.
So, then the 371D, Article 371D provides good employment, good proportionate employment share in state employment to locals. They don't say Telangana, Andhra, all that, they don't say. It's only a public employment reservation of seats to locals enactment. This was challenged in Andhra Pradesh. One judge supported it, 3 judges opposed it.
Okay.
1 judge belonged to Telangana, 3 belonged to Andhra. I'm not attributing, I'm only making a statement of fact. Then it goes to Supreme Court. Supreme Court totally agrees with the dissent judgment of 1 judge of Telangana. Not because it is supported by Telangana, because it is rational.
Yes.
1. Then second, there was a dispute with reference to Hyderabad as a free zone. Hyderabad is not a free zone, it is part of 1 zone of 6 zones which are classified for local employment reservations.
Okay.
Then, but in practice, Chandrababu Naidu government and Rajshekhar Reddy government was treating Hyderabad as free zone. And they are eliminating Telangana people and putting it open, and in the name of open employment they are bringing in Andhras. So this became a big dispute. And the case went to Andhra Pradesh High Court. Andhra Pradesh High Court totally supported the point of view that Hyderabad is part of 6 zone, not a free zone. Then the case went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court, there was no proper representation from Andhra Pradesh, as usual as it happens in irrigation matters. And Supreme Court struck down and said Hyderabad is a free zone. Anybody can be appointed. Then there was a political pressure. Andhra Pradesh Assembly resolved unanimously that treat Hyderabad not as a free zone. That's also an issue today. What I mean to say is, where Andhra Pradesh government has to represent all the sections of the people equally, there they fail.
Yes.
That is one of the basic reasons for separate Telangana agitation.
And from what I hear, it's more of a livelihood, employment, issues of common people. Correct. It is not a high ideal game. It is not a political game.
Yes.
It's not something that not about patriotism or sons of the soil. It is about food.
Just territorial development. I said don't call it Telangana. These 10 districts.
Correct. It does not matter, right?
Yes.
You need to even name them.
10 districts. What should they happen?
Right.
What should they do? And entire Naxalism has generated in Telangana. Reason is again
lack of
your
development.
suppression, deprivation, poverty, illiteracy, feudalism, absence of opportunities to pursue studies.
Correct. Studies and
You don't
employment.
allow them to get educated, don't allow them to be employed, and they are unrest. There is an unrest. They are restless, they are agitated. Very common feature.
Really.
This is what